Greetings to all. Welcome to VMware Administrator Training Sessions. Srinivas here.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening all. So the VMware Administrator batch is started yesterday, that is 24th March, and it is going to continue for weekly 5 days. That is Monday to Friday. Daily 1 hour session, that is it is going to start at 7 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, to 8 p.m. Plus or minus 5 to 10 minutes will be there based on the topic which we are going to discuss. So basically, this training module is scheduled for 1 hour on weekdays, Monday to Friday, total 30 days. Again, it will be plus or minus 2 or 3 days will be there based on the way you interact with me and performing the practicals. So if you are not going to ask and if I go continuously as usual without any questions, so it will complete plus or minus 30 days. Okay, and course fees are 11,800 and in dollars it is 142. Whatever the price you are able to see here, it is a kind of I can say nominal charges. Why I'm telling a nominal charges? You are going to get a live training on virtualization platform, and you are going to get a lab access and live sessions on Dell PowerEdge rack servers. We are going to start installation today. So 30 days lab access will be there to perform your practicals. So since the lab access provided, whatever the user ID creation is going to done, and once your payment is completed, the user ID will be shared with you guys, the lab access details. Since then 30 days, it is plus or minus 15 days, it will be there for lab access based on your way, how you are going to practice on the lab. So here 11,800, you are going to get 2 physical servers, access, remote administration. It is a replica of client environment. The Dell PowerEdge rack servers are hosted on Hyderabad data center. I am sitting in Bangalore. I'm delivering the training session. You are going to get a live training session. What are the topics which we are going to discuss? In addition to that, the session under record. So what all the sessions will be uploaded to LMS Graphy portal. That LMS Graphy portal accessible for lifetime. So live training, recorded sessions, 2 physical servers, that is enterprise Dell PowerEdge rack servers, you are going to get to perform the actions. So including all, we are just charging 11,800. You are able to understand how the training module is going on. Is it a worth or not? You are able to understand. VMware authorized training center charges 70,000, and it is going to discuss about only 5 days, and 5 days only talks about only one specific component. As part of this training module, we are going to cover 6.5, 6.7, 7.0, and 8.0 ESXi host installation, vSphere server installation, configuration, maintenance activity, upgrade activities, migration, that VMware standalone converter, everything we are going to perform on a live, and you are going to get hands-on practice. Okay, that is important here. No automation. Everything you are going to perform manual action. There is no scripted based execution, nothing, because you should understand the fundamentals, how to handle, how to start the installation. Once you understand the fundamental basic components, then you can think about logical framing, the logical framing to execute automation. Without understanding basics, there is no concept of automation. Okay. So that is what I mentioned. It is a nominal fee. If you have any queries, you can ask me. I can explain what are the things. Okay. So as I stated, first three sessions are free to attend. Okay. This is the second session. You just completed registration. So this particular session also will be uploaded to YouTube. So you can access Logic Labs Technologies, logiclabstech.com, wherein you can find upcoming batches. You just click on that upcoming batches. You are able to get the complete details of whatever the batches are scheduled. You can find VMware Administrator, the batch number 399. And if you are not at completed Zoom registration, this link, particular Zoom link registration will be valid for only tomorrow's session joining. As you are already joined this session, that means you already registered. Who are not at registered, so they can complete the registration for tomorrow session, that is 26th March session. After which, if you would like to continue or joining session late, then you can directly coordinate with the support team. The support contact details I'm going to share. Once you are happy with this training module, please proceed to continue the payment link. Okay, this is a payment link information. Even you are going to get a update in WhatsApp community to complete the payment link. Okay, so what you need to understand here, the first three sessions are free to attend the live sessions. The first three sessions are free to attend. Fourth session onwards, a separate Zoom link will be shared with the paid participants. To continue uninterrupted sessions, you can continue payment and then you are going to get all the details. Okay. So first two session recordings will be uploaded to YouTube and you can share with your friends. And what are all the sessions from the day one, all the sessions will be uploaded to LMS Graphy Portal. Those LMS Graphy Portal links not only recorded sessions, you are going to get a note files, whatever the note files we are going to work on, those note files will be uploaded to along with the recorded sessions. Okay. So for paid participants, all the sessions are available. If you miss any session also, you can play at any point of time. Even that's LMS Graphy Portal accessible and you can play the recorded session on mobile also. Okay. Once you are ready to complete the payment, just make sure, because there is no option of batch shifting and amount refund. So that's the reason I'm stressing here. While clicking on payment link, you need to make sure you are going to make the payment for right batch number 399 and VMware administrator, and click on buy now course. So once you complete this payment, there is no option of batch shifting. So I'm stressing here again and again. So please make sure you are happy to continue in this particular batch, VMware batch. Please check before completing the payment. So once you complete the payment, there is no option of batch shifting, no amount refund and return. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please, Amit.
Yeah, so for some of the batches from Logic Lab, we have chance to rejoin any other upcoming batch, like for Azure and AWS, I did so if I
Okay.
got some query. So is there any such option available for this course?
Uh, if you want to join later.
No, 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 no. I joined this right now
Uh-huh.
and I try to practice, but still I want to refresh some knowledge and I want to join the course again, any of the upcoming batch. Shall
Okay.
I join?
Yeah, it is up to your wish. Just coordinate with the support team so they are able to assist you. What is the procedure? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Amit. So it is very much important to be member of WhatsApp community. You may be member of different WhatsApp community groups. So it is very much important to be member of this particular WhatsApp community. So in the same link, you will find WhatsApp community. Just click on that WhatsApp community. If you open this logiclabstech.com on your mobile, you can click on upcoming batches wherein you can find WhatsApp community link. Just click on join chat so that you are going to get a regular updates about this specific batch. If any batch session is not yet started and going to get delay because of technical issues or personal issues, trainer is not available. So they are going to be provided and they will update in the WhatsApp community group that session is going to cancel, session is going to start, and the session is wait for 5 minutes and all those information. Even that YouTube recorded session will be posted in this particular WhatsApp community link. So whoever would like to continue in this particular VMware batch, please make sure you are member of batch number 399 without fail, because you are going to get a regular updates. And important thing is that, for example, the batch is supposed to start by 7 p.m. IST. Due to technical issues or due to traffic issues, if it any delay for 5 to 10 minutes, okay, please be there online. So I'll make sure to join. If at all any technical issue, I'm not able to join the session, not able to conduct the session, definitely there will be a message in the WhatsApp community. Okay, that batch number 399 WhatsApp community, there will be an update. Without any update, don't disconnect the session. Yeah, please be online so that session will continue, even 5 or 10 minutes delay also. Okay, just check that WhatsApp community link for any session cancellation message. Otherwise, please stay online. Okay, so these are the support contact information. This support contact information, you can send a mail communication to support@logiclabstech.com for any kind of issues, not able to access LMS Graphy portal, not able to resolve the issue. You can send a mail communication with a screen capture and all those things during the sessions. Also, I'm going to stress this point, how to communicate with the trainer. This particular mail communication is going to be admin related issues, technical issues, same mail communication. So you can send a mail so that you are going to get a response. Okay. And these two numbers, admin team manages for any kind of queries, you can contact on these two numbers outside India. These two numbers are enabled on WhatsApp, so you can call on WhatsApp. The admin team is available Monday to Saturday between 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST. Okay. So it is very much important to be part of WhatsApp community. You may be member of different WhatsApp community. To come, whoever would like to continue in this specific batch, please make sure join this particular WhatsApp community to get a regular updates. Okay, and we are available. Logic Labs technology is available on social media. It is not only updates, whatever the latest technology, every technology, Azure, AWS, DevOps, Azure DevOps, Terraform, whatever the technology, whatever the online training, Logic Labs technology is going to schedule. First 2 or 3 sessions are free, and those sessions will be uploaded on social media. So if you are not sure, you can watch that recorded sessions on YouTube or any Facebook. There you can able to understand what is this training and is it relevant to you or not. So whatever the training modules are scheduled in upcoming batches, for all these batches, a solution architect associate also I am teaching. It is going to start on 29th March. So first 1 or 2 or 3 sessions will be uploaded on YouTube. Just subscribe Logic Labs Technologies channel so that you are able to get latest updates, whatever the new technology they are going to deliver. The first 2 or 3 sessions will be available on YouTube. You can play and understand how the training module is going on, how the trainer is providing sessions, everything you are able to understand. Based on our understanding, you can choose or you can coordinate with the support team to get more details. Okay. So you can find artificial intelligence, data science, Docker and Kubernetes, all emerging technologies, Logic Labs technologies providing training modules. So you can watch first 2 and 3 sessions on YouTube. Yeah, please subscribe the social media. The social media links are available. Just click on www.logiclabstech.com wherein you can find all social media links. Yeah. Any questions? This is a general information about this course before starting our regular topic. Any questions? Okay. Everyone is allowed to unmute. Okay. Don't wait for me to, okay, ask you question. If you have any question, you are happy to interrupt me at any point of time. No issues. This training is for you. Okay. Any kind of queries, without hesitation, please raise a answer question. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Every day session is going to start in the same manner. We are going to talk about the previous session. What are the topics we discussed? Just a kind of refresh. Yesterday is just a demo session. Just what is the course content on all those details and explanation about my self introduction and no one is introduced and what is the training procedure, how it goes, and all those things explained in previous session. If anyone misses, you can find the link in WhatsApp community link, or you can find that recorded session available on YouTube. Okay. What is today's agenda? We are going to start ESXi host installation on Dell PowerEdge Rack server, as it is going to take certain time. During that installation procedure, I am going to come back and explain about the theory topic. All the sessions, 90% practical oriented, very less 10 to 5% theory part will be there. But most of the thing I'm going to showcase what are the practical steps we have to do to manage the environment, virtualization environment. So very less theory will be there. So wherever the situation comes in picture, I'm going to explain the theory topic. Otherwise, most of the sessions, 90% is a practical orientation. Okay. So we are going to discuss today ESXi host installation, remote management card, what is the server components which we need to understand, okay? And what is the relation, hardware, OS, application, and users. These are the theory topics. Let's proceed. How we are going to access the environment. I'm going to start with ESXi host installation on a physical Dell PowerEdge rack server, okay? So as I stated earlier, every student, every participant is going to get a lab access. Okay. This is the lab access details. Everyone is going to get. So as part of this lab access, every participant is going to get 10 IPs. So this range of IPs are required to deploy. Once server is deployed or ESXi host deployed, you have to configure to establish communication. So what IPs to be configured? These are the details. Every participant is going to get 10 IPs and subnet mask, gateway, and DNS information to configure the system. Okay. And how we are going to connect the environment? Our physical servers located in Hyderabad data center, Logic Labs data center, which is located in Hyderabad. How I'm going to access by sitting in Bangalore? I'm going to use a jump server. That jump server is a Windows server. How to access? This jump server is configured with a public IP. I'm going to copy this particular IP from any system, from anywhere you are in a position to access this jump server. I'm opening remote desktop connection from my laptop and I'm just whatever the details are available, I entered that IP address. Just say connect. And you are going to get details what is a user ID? Every participant, paid participant is going to get username and password to log into this environment. I'm going to connect this environment with admin credentials. You are going to get admin credentials to access this particular jump server. As soon as you log in, you are able to access this physical servers which are located in Hyderabad data center. So let me start. We have two physical servers. One is Dell PowerEdge R820. I'm going to showcase, and Dell PowerEdge 430. Okay, I'm connecting right now Dell PowerEdge R820. So for a VMware administrator, it is very much important. Okay, what is this physical server? How to start? Where to start? ESXi host installation. How to start installation? Where to start installation? What are the steps we need to perform as a pre-requirements? All those things we are going to see now. The first thing, as I stated, I'm sitting in Bangalore. All VMware administrators are going to work remotely. No one is going to sit in data center, right? So we have to connect systems remotely. A physical server sitting in remotely, how do we access that physical server? Okay. Each physical server, there will be a remote management card. That is a topic. Here it is clearly mentioned. A remote management card. It is a generic word. It is a device. It is a network component. How many of you are aware? Network device. How many of you are aware network device? Anyone having access, environment access to a managed physical servers? Please be interactive. Anyone? What are the servers you are able to manage? So every hardware, every physical server, I'm not talking about desktop, laptop. Laptop, it is a single user interface. We are going to sit in front of the laptop to use the system. Whereas in servers, it may be physical server to be used for Linux, maybe Windows, maybe other OS. It doesn't matter. To manage that physical server, there should be a remote access. How that remote access for a virtualization? Virtualization is going to work and it requires a physical system. I'm keep on telling that a physical system. Even laptop is also a physical system, right? The physical system I'm calling as a server and there is a desktop. What is the difference between server and desktop? Anyone having an idea? What is the difference between hardware, system hardware, desktop hardware, and server hardware? Any differences?
Desktop hardware are generally used for shorter time use, like few hours, and server hardwares are used for a longer period and have much more capabilities.
Exactly. Thank you, Amit. Generally, server hardware is robust and the form factor, the device configurations, and those device configuration, that configuration parameters are used to run longer period. If you run your desktop system, laptop continuously 24 hours, you are going to get heat generation and it is going to hang and all those things. But the hardware which is going to use for server, it runs for over the years. Okay, that is a physical server. So the physical server sitting in the data center, how we are going to manage? If you sit in front of the laptop, you are able to power on and you are able to see the screen. But whatever the system, the hardware system, the physical system, which is located in different place, as I'm sitting in Bangalore, accessing the Logic Lab data center, in the data center, there is one particular physical server, that is Dell PowerEdge R820. What is R820? We are going to see. For every server hardware, there will be a remote management card. The remote management card is nothing but it is just a network device. It will be having a port, a network card will be there. That network card is capable to configure IP address and username and password. Once the cable is connected and assign IP address to this particular NIC port, that particular system able to access remotely. So that's where each and every hardware is going to define as the generic term remote management card, but for respect to hardware, if it is a HP hardware, we are going to call it as ILO, integrated lights out. For IBM, it is IAM, integrated management module. For Dell, whatever the Logic Labs, the hardware which is we are hosting, that is Dell hardware. Dell hardware remote management card is ID rack, integrated Dell remote access control. So whatever the hardware, it doesn't matter. Every server enterprise hardware will be having a one kind of remote management card. According to hardware, the name is going to change. HP, it is ILO. As soon as someone attends interview, how you manage physical server, which is ESXi host. If you are not going to mention that remote management card, and if you says that my environment is having a Dell servers, and during the interview question, how do you manage? If you say environment is having a Dell servers and remote management card, if you are mentioning as a ILO, that means you are out of the topic. So you should understand the basic infrastructure, what hardware, that hardware, how we need to manage remotely. What is that remote management? The first scratch point which requires for a VMware administrator. A VMware administrator is going to work the only physical server, virtualization, whatever the virtualization it may be. The VMware administrator is going to work on physical servers, physical hardware system. That physical hardware system sits in data center. How you are going to manage without having remote management understanding, you are nothing in VMware administration. Okay, so this is a starting point. How do we access physical server? Okay, as we have a Dell PowerEdge server, the Dell PowerEdge server remote management card is integrated Dell remote access control, that is ID rack. Okay, I'm connecting to that. Any questions, please ask me. Don't wait for me to stop. So connected to the environment, that particular physical server. Now, by using this remote management card, that is ID rack console, I am able to power off and power on, and I am able to check what is happening on the screen. Okay, that is, you can see here, this is a virtual console. I can click on launch. You are going to perform all these actions, hands-on practice. Without hands-on practice, virtualization, you can't understand any topic. So everyone must understand, must practice on these concepts. Okay. If you go somewhere, they'll provide automated scripts. It is going to background, it is going to execute, and it is going to complete the installation. You don't know what is happening in the background. As a VMware administrator, you must understand what is a remote management card and what server, how to start from the scratch. Okay. So this is a server. Currently, it is already installed. What I'm going to do, I'm going to power off this particular server. How can I do that? You will have a console indicators here, power on and power off, power cycle, system. You can do whatever the action. If you are saying power cycle, that means it is going to reboot power cycle. Whatever the console I connected, that console is going to have session is going to reboot. See, the session is getting reboot. I can do, the system is sitting in hosted in Hyderabad data center, sitting in Bangalore, I'm able to reboot the system. Now, first action is completed. What is that first action? I'm able to access the physical system which is located in remote location, that is data center. Now I powered on. What next? As part of virtualization, I need to pre-configure some parameters to start ESXi host installation. The first thing is that I need to enter into the BIOS. Whatever the hardware, what is the step? First, I need to access the remote management card. By using remote management card, I can power on, I can power off. And at the same time, I can see what is happening in the console. In the console, whatever the screen you are able to see, this particular screen, what is this screen? Anyone? What is the screen? Black screen? What you are going to call it as? Even if you power on your laptop also, it is going to showcase some blank screen. There is a technical term.
Boot
What is
screen.
it?
Boot screen.
Very good, thank you. Power
Yeah.
on self-test.
Yeah.
POST, power on self-test, wherein the motherboard wherein we are going to power on, press the button to initiate power on button, that motherboard, the BIOS program is going to initiate, and what all the devices it is connected, and it is going to detect, and it is going to provide on-screen instructions, details, what processor it is having, how much memory configuration, what is the storage configuration, everything it is going to display over here. Okay. From this particular screen, we need to enter into the BIOS to do certain pre-configuration steps to before ESXi host installation. So how to enter into the BIOS? As soon as the screen comes in picture, you are going to get the prompt F2. You are going to get F2 button on the top. You can see that on the top, I press F2 button. So you are going to press that button by connecting to remote management card. After the post screen, you are going to give you option, enter into the BIOS, RAID configuration, mount ISO image, and then start installation. Okay, I just initiated F2 button. And to enter into the BIOS, what are the minimum things we need to validate before ESXi host installation? Let's wait. Any questions, please?
So what is the difference between power on and power on off and power cycle system?
On this particular screen, you are asking about the backend,
Yeah,
power on
back.
and off power cycle.
Yes, sir.
Power cycle, it is just a reset button on your laptop. Generally, desktops will be having a two buttons, power on button, and there is a button reset button. Okay.
Okay.
The reset button is nothing but recycle, power recycle. When you button, single button is there on the laptop. If you press and hold, it is going to on or it is going to off, right?
Okay.
That is the difference. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So this particular BIOS screen is very much important for virtualization configuration. You may be working on virtualization, maybe any kind of virtualization, not only VMware. You may be working on Hyper-V, you may be working on other virtualization product, Nutanix and all those things. It is very much important to check the BIOS configuration, few parameters. In the system BIOS, okay, I'm entering to the BIOS screen. Under BIOS screen, there is a processor settings. Under processor setting, two important parameters we must validate. What are these important parameters? That is logical processor. I'm going to talk about this logical processor. A little, because it is very much important. Can anyone tell me your mobile configuration? What is the CPU configuration on your mobile? What is the CPU configuration? Or your system will be having a right? What is the CPU configuration? How you are going to mention the processor configuration?
Maybe core,
Sorry?
core.
Yeah, what is that? What you are going to call it as when you pronouncing that mobile configuration? How you are going to say what is the capacity of the configuration? CPU. Octa-core processor, quad-core processor,
Yeah,
dual-core processor. Have you heard about this terminology?
yeah.
Yes.
So I'm giving a heads up here. What is octa-core means?
That means we have an 8 cores of CPU processor. 8 cores are there.
8 cores. That means what is a core? What is a
Uh,
processor?
I guess core means we can say that physical processor are count is 8.
It's a multiple core means two CPUs in a one chip.
Exactly. The chip in mobile will be having only one chip. That chip will be able to perform either quad core in the sense the physical chip will be processor chip will be only one, and that is capable handling 4 instructions at a given point of time. If it is octa-core, it is going to perform, being a single chip, it can perform 8 instructions per given second. That is a processor configuration. Here, when it comes to virtualization, we must understand the motherboard, the system architecture. In this motherboard, there are two motherboards are available, right? In these two motherboards, where do we install the processor?
Chipset.
Sorry? In this, hope you know that what is a motherboard. This is a motherboard. This is a circuit board will be having in each and every system, even laptop, even desktop, or even server hardware. The enterprise hardware also having a motherboard. The motherboard is nothing but all the devices, network, processor, memory, all the device components will be connected on this particular circuit board. This is a motherboard.
On this stainless steel, under the stainless steel part between the DIMM.
What is that terminology?
Yeah,
Network
it's a CPU socket.
socket. So as a VMware administrator, you must, the first important component, how many sockets are available. Based on the socket availability, I can install the processor. How many processor can be installed in that particular system? Okay. So here in this particular system, I can install two processors, two processor. Here 4 processor. That is a configuration. Now each processor, how many cores it can support? By default, Intel AMD is the server processors which are in use currently in the market. Okay. Intel and AMD. I'm going to showcase Intel processor, intel.com, wherein you can find the products of processor configuration having a different configuration parameters like, see here, the processors, Intel Core, whatever the laptop you are going to purchase, Intel inside, you can see that. Okay. i7 core, i8, i9, Gen 9, Gen 10, the processors. Now, coming to the server processor, you can find Intel Xeon processor, Intel Xeon CPU Max, Intel Atom processors. Generally, most of the virtualization hardware, whatever the hardware is used for virtualization, that comes with the GN processors. Okay. Under the GN processor, what is the capability? There are different products, different functions are available for this particular product. Different functions are available. You can see that different models are available. Here, the important parameter which you need to understand, the cores. Generally, mobile processors, octa-core, dual core, only having a one chip. This is a chip model. This chip model, if I insert this chip, this processor chip in that respective socket, how many processor? That means logical cores. 32. It is capable to handle 32 cycles, 32 instructions and given second. That is a capacity which we are going to get. If I install two processors in the motherboard, I'm going to get a 64 cores. Total 64 cores I'm going to get. Now, this is the configuration of the processor. Now, what is this logical processor? This is an important parameter for every VMware administrator going to miss without having any knowledge on this particular logical processor. This processor under CPU, it is going to come as a socket processor, that logical cores, and then hyper-threading. The hyper-threading is a feature by default under each and every server configuration. By default, it is going to support. By default, it is 32 cores. It is going to support hyper-threading. That means whatever the cores having here 32, if the motherboard supports hyper-threading, that configuration we are going to do here. This logical processors is enabled. That enabled is nothing but here in this particular Dell hardware, it is showing as a logical processor, but some other hardware vendors, it is going to showcase as a hyper-threading. What it is going to help, how it is going to help. And under processor, I'm talking about three parameters, three technical terms. One is socket. In the socket, I can install a processor chip. That processor chip by default will be having a logical cores, right? So in this configuration, it is going to support 32 instructions for a given second. In addition to this, it is going to support hyper-threading with the help of motherboard. As it is enabled here, logical processor is enabled, that 32 processors will be shown to at OS level as a 64. That means what I am going to get? Max CPU capacity. In virtualization, we are not going to handle one OS, multiple operating systems we are going to handle on a single physical server. Okay, that logical processor must be enabled. The logical processor or hyper-threading. Okay, next one, virtualization technology. The virtualization technology, it must be enabled. If it is a disabled, you are not in a position to proceed with virtualization component installation or a feature enablement. If it is a disabled, first of all, whatever the hardware you are going to purchase, you need to make sure that hardware is capable to handle virtualization. By default, all enterprise hardware which is compatible for virtualization, this feature by default enabled. But as a VMware administrator, as a scratch from installation, it must be validated to get a max. Okay, virtualization technology. and hyperthreading. These two features will be available under processor of the BIOS configuration. Next one, system profile setting. Here system profile is related to power management. In your laptop, have you ever noticed balanced power, battery saving power? Have you ever noticed on your laptop? Battery saving configuration, balanced configuration. That means if you are not using your laptop, the screen goes to blank. After some time, the system will go to hibernate. It is going to power off automatically, right?
Yeah.
But in the server, the system profile talks about max performance. You can enter here. There is a different configurations are available here. Okay, this must be configured as a high performance. There, vendor to vendor, this configuration changes. So the power management should be max performance. That means as we are going to use this hardware to deploy multiple systems, so the hardware must be capable whatever max it can do. So these three parameters must be validated before starting up virtualization. Clear? Any questions? I'm exiting. Once BIOS setup is done, the next component which we need to work on, RAID controller, storage preparation. What is the RAID controller? Anyone having any idea what is RAID controller? Why we need to use RAID controller?
It is used to set the redundancy,
For what?
like for hard disk redundancy, like mirroring and for performance.
Thank you, Shaikh. Thank you. Is it okay to call you as Shaikh or Arif?
Arif,
Arif. Thank you, Arif. Yes, is correct. The disk configuration, whatever the hard disk, for example, on your laptop, okay, on your system, it will be having only one disk. If something goes wrong with the hard disk, the storage where operating system files are going to store, the system you can't boot. As we are going to install the physical system for a operating system, whatever the disk is going to come, but that disk is not going to come as a single disk. For every hardware, every enterprise hardware, by default, it comes with the two disks. Those two disks will be connected a controller that is nothing but RAID controller. Every hardware with a different models will be there. The basic general concept is RAID control. What it does is it is going to protect data loss against disk failure. The two disk is not going to failure at the same time, right? So if something goes wrong with the one disk, the data, whatever the files are running for the operating system, that is going to work as is without impacting the server. So that two physical disks will be connected to a controller, a circuit board. That circuit board we are talking about, that is a RAID controller. As in the post screen, we have to be ready to execute one sequence. I'm pressing ready to enter, Shift R to enter into the RAID controller. See, Control S is there for entry into the network. I have to be ready to press Control R to enter into the RAID controller. See here, this particular Dell server is configured with PERC RAID controller. In HP servers, you can find smart array RAID controller. What is this RAID controller? RAID controller is nothing but just a device, a PCI card. This is a card, this is a HBA card. It's similar to this card, this KC controller card, RAID controller will be there. That controller will be connected to storage. the hard disk will be connected. Okay. So here you can see that the RAID levels, RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5. Okay. Whatever the hardware we are going to use for virtualization, that hardware is going to come with the two disks. There is a RAID concept will be there. There is a JBoss concept is there, but most of the virtualization hardware are going to come with a two disk minimum. Those two disks will be connected to the RAID controller. The RAID controller is nothing but just like a network controller card. And the cable will be connected to hard disk. Whatever the disk it is connected, the disk will be, this RAID controller will protect any data loss, any disk failure. It is going to protect not to system impact. Okay. So what we need to do, as soon as that ESXi host is ready for installation, we need to check remote management card. Without remote management card, I cannot connect to the console, right? That is a basic component, remote management card. So how do you start? I need to have a access details, IP address and username and password to connect that physical server. If you are not going to ask, if you says that I'm going to start installation by keeping the CD drive or say mount ISO image, gone, you are out. Okay, the first basic thing which you are going to ask is, I have to get the remote management card details. If it is Dell hardware, ID rack details. If it is HP, ILO details. If it is IBM, IMM details I need. Cisco UCS details I need to connect remotely. Once we connect, we are able to access the console. In the console, I can power off, I can reset, I can do whatever actions. I can enter into the BIOS. Once enter into the BIOS, the first I need to validate BIOS configuration, the processor setting, logical processor setting, hyperthreading and virtualization technology, and power profile. All these as per virtualization recommendations, best recommendations. Okay. Next, once that BIOS configuration is done, the next component which we need to configure is validating the RAID configuration. And that RAID configuration is nothing but how many disks available, are those disks properly configured to start with installation. So as I said, there are two disks that will be available in any enterprise hardware which is compatible for virtualization. Now, what kind of RAID controller, what RAID level I need to configure? There are different RAID levels are there, RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5. What RAID controller you are going to, RAID level you are going to configure? Anyone? What RAID level you are going to configure? There are two disks available.
Is
RAID
RAID
0,
0. RAID 0.
sorry, it is wrong answer. RAID 0 is a spanned volume. That means it is going
I
to
mean to
add.
say it's a copy, only 1-to-1 copy.
Yeah, what RAID level we need to do?
Is RAID 1, RAID 5, yeah, RAID 1
RAID 1. This is a mirror.
mirror.
RAID
This
5.
is a RAID 5. This 0 is for just a combined together. For example, there is two disks, 100 GB is there. Two disks are there, 100 GB, 100 GB. In RAID 0, it is going to join together. It is going to join together and gives you total capacity is 200 GB. It is a span volume, you can say that, but there is no redundancy configuration. If one disk fails, you are going to lose entire data. Okay, there is no protection. But these two disks are available 100 GB, 100 GB. Generally, all operating system configuration, if we have 2 disks configuration for RAID 1 minimum and maximum disks required is 2. Okay, without 2 disk, we cannot configure RAID 1. So mirror, what is this mirror? That means whatever it is a parity, how it is going to maintain, whatever the data it is going to write, the same data will be available on second disk also. Generally, this RAID 1, the mirror will be used for OS disk configuration. Okay, whatever the operating system you are going to install, that is going to use for RAID 1. RAID 5, as we are not going to, in virtualization, we are not going to use more than 2 disks. So RAID 5 is a minimum requirement is 3 and maximum number depends upon the base availability. Okay, so the RAID 5, the concept is out of topic for our virtualization. Generally, we configure with RAID 1 only. Okay, so here in this particular configuration, on this particular physical server, I have only 1 disk. Okay, without creating a logical disk, I am not in a position to continue with ESXi host installation. Okay, so what I'm going to do, everyone is going to practice, delete the disk group. Yes, and there is no disk available. So I'm going to create a disk, create a new virtual disk. As here it is available, only 1 disk is available. I am getting only RAID 0. If I have second disk, I can configure this RAID level option is going to give you a provision that RAID 0 selection, RAID 1 selection, or RAID 5 selection. If I have 3 disks, I'm going to get this configuration. Currently, we must configure without logical, virtual, logical, both are same terminology. In few hardware model, it is going to mention as a logical disk. In some hardwares, it is going to mention as a virtual disk, VD, virtual disk. The physical disk must be created as a virtual disk or logical disk. Without creating a RAID level, that disk is not available for operating system file copy process. Is it clear? So BIOS configuration, after BIOS configuration, you must configure RAID. Without RAID configuration, you must not proceed with, you can't proceed ESXi host installation. So as it is a single disk, for practice, it is fine. For enterprise hardware, whatever the environment you are going to work, by default, there will be 2 disks will be there. Okay, let's proceed. So I selected. Now I'm going to click on OK. Disk is created. Next one, what I need to do? Again, press F2. Initialization. Start initialization. Yes. Once initialization only, this disk is available for OS installation. Tomorrow, I'm going to showcase how to mount and how to start. We completed the pre-requirements to start ESXi host installation. BIOS configuration, in the BIOS what parameters we need to validate, that's we discussed. After which we configured power management, that is also discussed. Then we configured RAID configuration. What is importance of RAID configuration, that is validated, and creation is going on the virtual disk. Once these are the pre-requirements to proceed with ESXi host installation. Now the configuration is done. The next component, we need to download ISO image. Is there any CD-ROM available? Can I keep any CD-ROM? No CD-ROM concept. We have to download ISO image of respective operating system. As we are working on virtualization, I need to download that ISO image. From where I need to download ISO image? Okay. Tomorrow we are going to see that, download and then mount and then start installation. Okay. So this is a way we are going to process step by step. Where to start? How do we go? how do we configure? The sequence of steps you need to understand. Without understanding these basics, you cannot work on virtualization. Okay, this is all for today's topic. Any questions before closing for today? Any questions? Just a gentle reminder, the session is under recording. So if you are not part of registration, if you are watching YouTube link about this session, please click on upcoming batches. There you will find batch number 399 and this Zoom link is available for only tomorrow. You can join with this Zoom registration. You can join freely to tomorrow's session. From fourth session onwards, you need to complete the payment to get a separate Zoom link. Okay. So please, if you are happy, please share with your friends so that they can understand the topics about virtualization. I'm here to explain each and everything from the scratch to an advanced level. This module is designed for L1 to L3 level of management of virtualization environment. Okay. Hope you are able to understand easily. Okay. See you tomorrow if no questions. Have a great day. Bye.